Okay, so today I'm going to talk about The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. And I happen to know that when I'm done all this and I hit the edit button, I'm going to be able to flip this around so you can see it the right way. Because right now, if you were to do it like I had been doing it before, you would see it backwards. So I think that's pretty cool. You just wait. I'm so excited to see what my video is going to look like at this time next year. We should mark this date to see what is it, February 7th, 2024, what that video is going to look like in comparison to this video. Okay, anyway, I am now on week 2. Week 1 was pretty intense, had a range of emotions happening there, uncovered some, or unburied, is that would be a word? Dug up some monsters and some that were not wanted. But that's okay. We're all good. It's all part of the process. Really struggling with the word artist and calling myself an artist. Never considered myself to be an artist. Didn't consider myself to be creative. Can't draw a stick man. Can't sing, carry a tune. Can't do that. Trying to build stuff. I really poor fine motor control. Oh, remember, that's one of my blurts. That's it. Ha! I remembered. Just in case you didn't watch the first one, in the first week she talks about blurts. And blurts are basically what I just said. I have really poor fine motor control skills, so I can't be an artist. So it's just those cognitive distortions, community of assholes. There's a whole bunch of different ways to say them, but those negative thinking, the self-doubts that really try to hold you back. Anyway, and I just caught myself saying one live on camera. Whoa, look at this. It's working. Okay, anyway, back to week 2. So she talks about how, we're going to go through some behaviors and be kind of erratic and all these emotions, which I actually kind of think, I don't think I was erratic, but yeah, I was off. And I had a little bit of hops and highs, and yeah, okay, I could kind of see that. The web and flow actually is what she speaks of, and I like it better that way. And the web and flow is just basically that process of trying to find our creative self. But I really like how she said this. As we gain strength, so does our self-doubt. And this is normal and part of recovery, which I found this just during this whole process of starting this YouTube channel. Oh man, and the community of assholes are just nattering. And you know what? Doing this exercise or this introduction really helped me process what I'm doing now. And it's so weird because who would have thought this random book, The Artist Way, would have anything to do with the self-care journey to my authentic self? And actually the things that she's speaking of, I can apply to what I'm actually going through and experiencing right now. That is so cool. Wow. It's like I planned it, but I didn't. Now, what is that called? Serendipity? Or synchronicity? Something like that? Oh my goodness, I can't remember. But I know Mel Robbins talked about it, and so does Deepak. We're not talking about that today. Sorry, I went, whoa, let's go back to this. But my point is, all the messages I'm hearing right now that I am receiving is telling me I'm on the right path. My path is lit all the way. So anyway, it was really good though to bring up the self-doubt and what that looks like and feels like. And so I was kind of like, yeah, I'm on this. I got it. Okay, I'm feeling it. And then she starts talking about some common self-doubt attacks. And I'll read them out to you a little bit because that's where she kind of lost me. Where she said, okay, so I did okay this week, but it's just a temporary thing. Okay, so I got all the morning pages done. I probably didn't do it right. Okay, so now I need to plan something big and do it right away. Who am I kidding? I'll never recover. Not right away. Not ever. And then she talks about how these attacks, right, these committee of assholes, just really beat us down. And that self-doubt gets stronger and stronger, and it sabotages us. Because that's what it is, sabotaging, right? So, and I was kind of reading that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I get that. But then when I was reading out that list to you, the common doubts or phrases that she says, self-attacks, I heard this and I wrote it down. I heard, who am I kidding? I'm not an artist. That was not in that list. That was in my head. I was like, wow. True. But wow. And then I'm like, damn, she's got me. And then she speaks about the attacks, right? But, you know, I refer to them as the committee of assholes. And how they just relentless, right? It's just that constant in your head. And I had this before, like in the previous year when I was working on all the affirmations and getting rid of I'm stupid, right? I mean, that used to be a constant, and now I hardly hear it unless I'm finding I get a little anxious, stressed, triggered. I'm not sure, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so it just means that it's trying to keep us stuck. But then that made me think about how abundance, the universe is bountiful. Like, it is unlimited. We can have anything we want, and we can make it happen. We can be whatever we want. There is no ending or limit. And if we build each other up and support each other, it's the energy. We just get bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and more powerful. I don't know, whatever we want to be. I think that's so awesome. Pure potentiality. Endless possibilities. So it made me start thinking about that. But when we're talking about, you know, the committee of assholes, or she's calling them those attackers, the self-doubts, right? That also made me think about our subconscious, because that's where it comes from. And I've learned that our subconscious, most of the beliefs and the misbeliefs and the preconceived notions and thoughts, negative thoughts and all that kind of stuff, and positive thoughts, everything in there comes from our early years, from our environment, from our primary caregivers, the people that were around us. We know this just like from brain science now in my other world, in my other career, right? We know that children need experiences, we need connection in order for our brains to develop, for our bodies to grow. We need this. And if we're not getting that, then how would we be able to explore and grow? Our brains develop. Well, when we hear all that, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're worthless, or our needs are being neglected and we're not getting that basic connection, return, and serve that little people need, that's filling our subconscious up. And that's what we go to. And we know, I can't remember if it's 90 or 95%, but that's where we basically work from, is our subconscious, right? So 90% of our thoughts, actions, beliefs, core, however we want to say, existence, I don't know, comes from 95% our subconscious. We don't even know. But then I also remember and get really excited about that we as humans actually have the capacity, the ability, the magic to change our subconscious, what our subconscious holds, I guess, right? We can get rid of those negative thoughts, get rid of all that shit that's blocking the door of our creativity. We actually have control over that. I think that's pretty cool. I really think that's cool, actually. So anyway, that's where my mind went when I was doing like the first 2 pages of the assignment 2 introduction. And so now she's talking about the recovering artist must avoid, you know, taking that first think. And she kind of relates it to, you know, the alcoholic avoiding taking that first drink. So that first think will always lead us, or is, self-doubt. And we know where self-doubt takes us, sabotage. And maybe that little voice, I don't think this is really good. Ooh, I don't like this. And then she said something that I really liked. She said, affirmations are a powerful antidote for self-hate, which commonly appears under the mask of self-doubt. I like that saying, actually. I really do. Affirmations are a powerful antidote to self-hate. I like that. Yep, so then basically the whole summary of that would be that self-doubt often leads to self-sabotage. And then she kind of talks about too about how creativity flourishes when we have a sense of safety and self-acceptance. And think about your inner artist like a small child. And a small child is happiest when feeling a sense of security. And then this is where it clicked. Again, connection to my other career there. And how we need experiences to explore the world. We need to feel safe in order to experience the world, to explore. If we don't feel safe, if we don't know if there's a caregiver that's going to help us if we fall, stop us from falling or however that may look, we're not going to go out there and explore. And if we know that the people around us aren't safe, that our needs aren't being met, that it's harmful to seek out people, we're not going to be doing that as we grow. Brain is actually going to not be developing the way that it should, and we're going to have some lags in serious domains of our brain. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. Sorry. Anyway, it just really links. So when I can link this kind of stuff to previous things that I've been reading and learning, but in different language or different format, to my career, to my own belief system, my own experiences, it all comes together and it clicks and it feels right. Yeah. So when you don't feel safe, you feel like the world isn't safe, and you won't explore, and you remain stuck. And it's kind of like you remain blocked. Your creativity is blocked. Stuck in the primitive brain, right? In that survival loop. Okay, and that's fine. And then she talks about blocked friends and about how sometimes they might be not encouraging or, supportive of your recovery for whatever the reasons may be, because they're stuck, basically, is why, right? And they feel more comfortable in chaos at this time. And that's okay. But just to be aware of those people. Some people are not going to be excited to hear about, seeing hearts in the mountains or about my aha moment of, Miss Guthrie and being a bad speller and all that kind of stuff. Like, I get it. And that's okay. It really is. They're not ready yet, and that's perfect. They're on their own path, and that's perfect. And I support them 100% on where they're going, because they have an awesome journey ahead of them as well that they're going through at the same time as me. Just looks different. That's okay. So anyway, but just to be really careful of that. And fair enough, we do that. And then, but she also pointed out, because if we hang out with people who aren't quite supportive, then that really feeds the self-doubt, right? Is that what she calls it? Right. And self-doubt in this case will be you kind of feel guilty. So if you want to spend some time doing self-care practice, in my case, or painting or whatever it may be, but you're supposed to go see your friend, or you're supposed to go for dinner, or you have this obligation or whatever it is, and then you feel bad because you really should be doing something else. And you're not really enjoying what you're doing or being in the moment or being creative or doing self-care or however you want to look at it. If you are in the headspace of I shouldn't even be a concept that we work on or work from. We do. Okay, so that's enough of that rant. And then her also little thing in there that I took away is the essential element of nurturing our creativity lies in nurturing ourselves. And I'm all about self-care. And so this whole self-care process really supports me in my recovery of an artist. And again, this was mentioned before, and it was mentioned in other areas too that I've been reading about. We are gifted with creativity. We're gifted with talents. And our gift back is using it. Makes sense. Then she starts talking about the crazy makers. And she talks about the crazy makers for several pages. And quite honestly, I was kind of like, why are we talking about crazy makers? So I read it, and I'm going to just kind of read what she titles it. Crazy makers. Let's see. So basically, these are the people that create the storm and the calm, right? That just thrive in that chaos. And she summarized them as like this. Crazy makers break deals and destroy schedules. Okay. Crazy makers expect special treatment. Crazy makers discount your reality. Crazy makers spend time, your time and money. Crazy makers triangulate those they deal with. Crazy makers are expert blamers. Crazy makers create dramas, but seldom where they belong. Crazy makers hate schedules except their own. Crazy makers hate order. Crazy makers deny that they are even crazy makers. Like I said, there's like several pages here, right? And she gives details about each of these, but basically the little title that she says there tells you what they do. Okay, so I'm like, well, why? Good, I'm not going to hang around people like that. I get it. Actually, my life is quite drama-free, and I'm very grateful for that. So grateful. I like that calm, peace feeling. Oh, it is nice. Anyway, so I'm like, why are we going all through this? I don't have those people in my life, and I stay away. And then she says, if crazy makers are that destructive, why are we doing, or what are we doing involved with them? The answer, to be brief but brutal, is that we're that crazy ourselves, and we are that self-destructive. See, and I even circled it. Right? Yes. As blocked creatives, we are willing to go to almost any length to remain blocked. As frightening and abusive as life with a crazy maker may be, we find it far less threatening than the challenge of a creative life of our own. What would happen? And then all these other things. Well, we don't need to go into that. But I thought it was very interesting because we are actually the crazy makers. Good to know. Noted. And then she talks about being a skeptic. Thank you. That's what we're going to say. And again, that's that doubt, right? That secret doubt is what she would call it. And then I like how she says that we hear these doubts in ways of, okay, so I started writing the morning pages, and it seems like I'm a little bit more awake and alert in my life. So what? It's just a coincidence. Okay. So I started feeling really good and taking my artist out on a date. And I do notice I'm cheering up a little bit. So what? It's just a coincidence. Okay. So now that I'm beginning, you get the point, right? And so she's talking about that. But she wanted to say that one of the things most worth noting in creative recovery is our reluctance to take seriously the possibility that the universe just might be cooperating with our new and expanded plans. We've gotten brave enough to try recovery, but we don't want the universe to really pay attention. We still feel like too much like frauds to handle some success. When it comes, we want it to go. And then I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Because I kind of feel that a little bit. Like one of these little videos is at 168 views. To me, that's a lot, okay? Like that's viral. And so I'm so excited. And then I think about, and then it's going to be 500. Oh my goodness. What if it's like 10,000? All that kind of stuff in my head. And then I got scared. Whoa. Remember I told you about that zap feeling? That when I start, oh my goodness. As I say it, I'm making the connection. When I start visualizing like the view numbers getting up or subscribers getting up there. Oh, side note, by the way, I'm supposed to always remind you guys to subscribe. If I could say it, subscribe. So if you haven't, can you click that little subscribe button? You know, the one that I can't say very well. If you can click that, then I will be happy. Thank you, because then maybe I'll get 10,000 subscribers. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So when I start visualizing that kind of stuff and I get all excited about it, I get that energy zap. Can't remember what episode I talked about that in, but I'm going to go back and look at it because, wow, I actually feel that. I actually feel that now when I start to visualize something happy and exciting that my life is going to look like. That's awesome. Because if I recognize it, then I can stop it. But I have to work on that still. But hey, first step. So I thought that was really cool. I really did. And then I like how she kind of thinks about, like she describes describes creativity like a door. And you open it up and it's like this brilliant light, but it's not like blinding and hurting your eyes kind of light. It's kind of like a peace and warmth, but coolness, but knowledge, but I don't know, whatever I think we all strive to be. The pure potentiality. There you go. She shows it about opening up the door, and there you got the pure potentiality out there, all those possibilities. I think that's so awesome. I like how she does that. And that makes me think of the abundance and how it's unlimited. And then it makes me like it just, everything all seems to link together. Just really showing me that I'm on the right path. I've got this. I'm in the direction. I found my purpose. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, and then she talks about attention. And what else does she have here? Oh, okay. Now she has some rules of the road. And I will read them to you. Let's see. In order to be an artist, I must show up at the page, use the page to rest, to dream, to try. 2. Fill the well by caring for my artist. 3. Set small and gentle goals and meet them weekly. 4. Pray for guidance, courage. 5. Remember that it is far harder and more painful to be a blocked artist than it is to do the work. I get that one. 6. Be alert. Always be in the presence of the divine, lending and helping my artist. Choose companions who encourage me to do the work, not just talk about doing the work or why I'm not doing the work. 8. Remember the divine loves creativity. 9. Remember that it is my job to do the work and not judge the work. That's a good one. 10. Place this sign in my workplace. Oh, okay. I gotta place this in my workplace. Divine, I will take care of the quantity. You take care of the quality. All right. I gotta figure that one out a bit still. And so basically it's like that. And like she has like stories in there, but I'm not gonna go through all that. We're already at 23 minutes. And I want to talk about the tasks, and then we will call it. So, do affirmation readings. So the ones that we had on page 3. Page 3. Oh. Let's do it. All right, page 3. The basic principles. Creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy. 2. There is an underlying, indwelling creative force infusing all life, including ourselves. 3. When we open ourselves to creativity, we open ourselves to the Creator's creativity within us in our lives. 4. We are, ourselves, creations, and we, in turn, are meant to continue creativity by being creative ourselves. Creativity is the divine's gift to us. Using our creativity is our gift back to the divine. I like that one. The refusal to be creative is self-will and is counter to our true nature. When we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to the divine. good, orderly direction. As we open our creative channels to the Creator, many gentle but powerful changes are to be expected. True that. It is safe to open ourselves up to the greater and greater creativity. Our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move toward our dreams, we move towards our divine entity. And that's it. All right, look at me. I just did it today. Woohoo! And you have to read them every day, morning and night. All right. I'll add it to my list of things to read in the mornings. And what else do we have to do? Want us to list 5 major activities this week. Oh boy. And list 20 things you enjoy doing. Oh, that will be easy. And from that above, write down 2 favorite things that you avoided that could be this week's goals. Oh. Yeah, right. I need to have a goal. I gotta think about that one. Dip back into week 1 and read the affirmations. I can do that. Return to the list of imaginary lives from last week. Remember the 5 imaginary lives that we had to make up? Okay. Well, I looked at them. They weren't really imaginary. Like, I could have been an astronaut. I could have been, what else? A queen? No, I wouldn't want to be a queen, though, to be honest. No. But you get what I mean. But mine were so kind of like normal. I didn't have anything really out there. Wasn't very imaginative. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that's a blurt. And then we gotta do a life pie, draw a circle. Oh boy, that one's gonna be fun. Yeah, so there's like 10 tiny changes, but there are things in here that we can do. So I will get on this and update you guys. But I'll do like the assignments in little pieces so it's not so long. This was just the introduction after all. So yay me, week 2. Let's do it.